in the manual it recommends that you loosen one a little bit, and the one opposite you loosen it a little bit, then you loosen that a little bit, loosen that a little bit, and then just keep doing the same sequence. This way it undoes all the springs with a sort of equal amount of tension. And you do the opposite when you put it back together again. So you put equal pressure all the way around on the springs. And that's what we're going to do. Nearly there. God, it's so dry. Not any oil on this. Right, there, the inners of the basket should just pull out. That's your thrust bearing, and that's the washer for the back of the thrust bearing. We don't want to take that out. There's one more in there. Here she comes. That's your number 2. Now, these friction plates look alright. Still life in those. That's a compression washer. Behind that should be a normal washer, and there is. Okay, I'm going to leave those in there because we don't need to take those off. Yeah, you can see it's quite shiny where it's been slipping. We have a new gasket to replace this old one. Always put new gaskets in. Got a new set of springs. These are 15% stronger than the originals, and we got our clutch friction plates. Right, having the new friction discs, they need to be coated in oil before you put them in. So I've got my tub of oil, and I'll just wipe them with the oil and I'll slot them in. That way it doesn't bite when you first start it up and try and use the clutch. Just remember, when you put these back in, you coat them with some fresh oil and you alternate them. You start off with the narrowest ring. One ring will be narrower than the rest. You put that one in first, then you put a metal ring in and alternate them until they're all in like so. Make sure your thrust washer and bearings in there, they haven't dropped out. And then the last part is the cover on the basket, which slots on there like so. And then it just requires put your springs and your bolts back in. I'm putting some new springs in. I don't know what the old ones are going to be like, and because it was slipping, I just feel that it makes sense to change them as well. So these are our new springs. Just going to dip them in a bit of oil before I replace them. It'll get spun out when it spins, but we'll put a bit of lubrication around. Then screw the bolts back in. Like so. Just going to screw them in until we get some tension on the springs. Right, I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to start with this one. Couple of turns, couple of turns, couple of turns, couple of turns. Right, this is my torque wrench. It comes with a certificate of authenticity. Basically, it's been tested, calibrated. Yes, it's worth paying the extra. You buy one of these cheap ones from China and they're not calibrated, and to be honest with you, I've learnt by the lesson. You do it up to the torque on the wrench, and it doesn't too tight and they snap. It's because they're not calibrated properly. So it's best to spend a little bit extra and get yourself a decent torque wrench. So like I say, we've got to do these up to between 8 and 9.5 foot-pounds, which I think, if I remember right, is 10-11 Newton meters. 11 to 13 Newton meters. So we're just going to go around. There we go. Hear it click. Fair that one. That one's a bit dodgy, isn't it? I'll leave that one set at that, I think.